Taiwan and Somaliland have built a unique partnership since 2020 with initiatives like the Joint Energy and Mineral Resources Cooperation Working Group and Taiwan's investments in Somaliland's agriculture and technology sectors. How are these economic collaborations strengthening Somaliland's emerging economy, and what specific benefits do they bring to both nations?
I believe that the economic relationship between Taiwan and Somaliland is now relatively young. We are at the early stages, but it shows a lot of promise. We believe that in the medium and long term, both nations will benefit greatly from this relationship. Somaliland has a lot to offer in terms of its strategic location. We are setting ourselves up as a commercial and logistics hub in the region, in the Horn of Africa. So not only Somaliland and Ethiopia, but the whole region, with the potential of 300 to 400, maybe even 500 million, access to 500 million Africans. And so we have the Berbera port. We're building new infrastructure with international partners. And we have adjacent to that the free zone, which will be the commercial and logistics hub, the premier in the region, in the Horn of Africa. So we believe that we have that to offer. Taiwan has a very advanced economy, and we are seeking to replicate and learn from Taiwan, have knowledge transfer, and also investment. And it's our policy, obviously, to welcome everybody, but Taiwan is one of those nations that we're looking to give preferential treatment as far as trade is concerned. So we have already a number of significant investments, such as CPC Taiwan, that are involved in the hydrocarbon sector. We envisage drilling will be commencing sometime early next year. And we have other investments. I continue to talk to Taiwanese firms and entrepreneurs. So this relationship is one that is of economic benefit to both Taiwan and Somaliland.
So, how is Somaliland leveraging these partnerships to position itself as a trade hub? And what role does Taiwan's expertise play in developing your mineral and energy sectors?
Taiwanese expertise is essential for us. One of the most advanced economies in the world in terms of technology, AI. And so we want to tap into this, and we're working very close with Taiwan on a number of areas, not only oil exploration, but we're working in banking. Recently, I had a delegation from the Central Bank of Somaliland, the governor of the bank and his special advisor. We're looking at financing, we're looking at technology, artificial intelligence, and I believe we can make a huge amount of progress in these areas, and as well as other sectors. As I say, we are in the business of attracting new companies to come to Somaliland. And from the perspective of Taipei and Taiwan, I continue to engage with a number of large I would say conglomerates who are showing a keen interest in Somaliland. So across all sectors, we believe we have, a very young and dynamic population. So we have the prerequisites to become a serious and a significant commercial and logistics hub in the Horn of Africa. And so I believe Taiwanese expertise and engagement will go a long way.
So how does Somaliland balance its economic cooperation with Taiwan against China's overtures, such as infrastructure development? And what does this mean for your pursuit of international recognition?
First of all, Taiwan and Republic of Somaliland are not a threat to China. We do not seek to harm China. We believe that, or I personally believe that China has nothing to prove, and that its interests would best be served respecting the principle of non-interference and sovereignty of other nations. We are a free nation and we have the right to choose our partners. We choose Taiwan because we have shared values in democracy, the rule of law, equality, and mutual respect, bilateral relations, which is based on mutual respect and peaceful coexistence, not only with everybody in our region and in the world. So nothing that any nation can do, China or anybody, will deter us from pursuing our people's inalienable right to self-determination. We believe that we are an independent nation. We are a functioning state. We have all of the institutions necessary and apparatus for a state. We have our own judiciary, our own army, our own currency, our own passport. The only thing we lack is formal international recognition. And I believe that that will come very soon. You heard President Trump recently publicly say, we are working on Somaliland recognition. It's something that's under serious consideration. Congressman Scott Perry presented a bill which is called the Republic of Somaliland Recognition Act. You saw the Senator Ted Cruz write to President Trump recently, also stating why he believes Somaliland should be recognized. And Somaliland recognition and further engagement with Somaliland is clearly in the US's interests. Not only that, we believe it's in the interest of the region, it's in the interest of stability in the Horn of Africa. We are one of the actors in the Horn that's the most stable and most democratic. We've been so for 34 years, and we continue to demonstrate our democratic credentials every time we have an election. Last year we had the presidential election. It was highly contentious. It was highly competitive, but it was a peaceful, fair and free, and a peaceful transition of power. So this is what we bring to the table. Not only do we bring commercial viability, we bring stability, we bring democracy and the values that nations should be pursuing. And so therefore we feel that it's time for recognition of Somaliland. And nothing anybody can do can stop that, whether coercion by China or anybody else. We cannot be bribed with infrastructure development by larger nations. We take a stance based on principle, and we will pursue a principled, foreign policy based on peaceful coexistence and respect. That's how we do it.
How can Taiwan's model of capacity building, rather than debt-driven aid, help Somaliland build a resilient economy? And what lessons could other African nations learn from this partnership?
So it's a very good question. Taiwan has been working with us and focusing on the area of e-government and intergovernment communication. We are still at early stages of developing this particular project, and recently we had in-depth discussions with the government of Taiwan on scaling this up to the next level. It's something that we believe will make a significant difference to governance in Somaliland and also the lives of ordinary people. And the Taiwanese government has been fully supportive in this endeavor. But this is at the beginning of a project. It has major implications and ramifications for how we work and govern. So that's one area I'm glad you mentioned. In terms of maternal health, Taiwan has been working with us on that, but general health. So now the Taiwan-Somaliland hospital is being built in Hargeisa. It's a $22 million project, donated and paid for by the government of Taiwan. And so this is being built in Hargeisa, in central Hargeisa. Would be a major referral hospital and make a significant difference. Coming back to the other part of your question, which is the enabling policy and southern sustainable development of Taiwanese involvement in the region and with Somaliland, it's something that Taiwan can be very proud of. It is completely different to the debt-driven pariah type of policy which some countries practice. And one of the things with debt entrapment of nations is it really hinders development.
So the US and other Western partners have shown interest already in Somaliland, partly due to its ties with Taiwan also, and its rejection of China's influence. So how can Somaliland capitalize on these relationships to boost its economy and advance its case for UN recognition? And what role does Taiwan play in facilitating these connections?
So I'll come to that last point. Taiwan is a great facilitator for us. Taiwan is a valuable friend, has very close ties with the United States, and rightly so. And we believe that our partnership with Taiwan will yield significant political and diplomatic results in the long term. As far as US interest, as you mentioned, the US has been engaging with us at some level for quite some time, but that has intensified now. And we believe that now we are on the cusp of international recognition, probably by the United States, which is a leader in the international community. You have to accept. And so we will continue to push for that tirelessly in the coming weeks, months, and years. We hope it doesn't take that long. Coming back to the Taiwan situation, Taiwan has very, very strong support in the US. For example, in the House, there is 229 members in both houses, the Taiwan caucus, significant influence, and we believe all of these public servants have shown at some point support for Somaliland, and so we will harness these relationships and use it to the maximum.